We are back to the action at the Legends of Poker at the Bicycle Casino.
And this has been a wild one. I mean, the first couple hands, they were playing like they were double parked or something. I mean, 2 players out in the first 4 hands. Then this absolute slugfest between the attorney Mark Safe and the kamikaze kid Han Lee.
Well, Vince, what we've got here is 2 guys that like to get in there and mix up every pot, and then 2 guys on the other end, Chris and Stan, that don't ever like to play a pot.
Well, Stan Goldstein has definitely been our mystery guest. Now, he's raising it up. He does have a hand. He has ace, jack of clubs. Okay, hide-and-go-seek time is over.
Well, that's a big duke against the 2 blinds, and even Stan's going to play this hand. He's generally always going to have a hand if he comes in a pot.
Mark's going to throw his 6-7 away.
They're not going to mess with him. Han Lee, even though he's in the big blind with a lot of chips, even he gives Stan a lot of respect.
Quick little win for Stan. He needed that. Get him back in the game a little bit.
Well, the action is on Stan.
Now, Stan doesn't have too much of a hand. He took his the last pot.
And he folds. And Mark's on the button. He limps in on the button again. It worked well for him last time, Vince. He doubled up, won a big pot with limping in with the 4-3 of clubs. He's trying it again. But Han Lee's not going for it this time. He says raise.
Yeah, because he has a real hand. He has a real pair of 10s. You got to raise with that.
Chris folds.
Mark disgusted. Look at this look. Aggravated by this re-raise.
Laying down big hands.
Raises me every pot. He raises me every time.
You guys have something since yesterday, man. He's been doing this to you since yesterday, right?
They're sitting back. This always seems like a 2-man game now, doesn't it, Vince?
Oh, yeah. It's the attorney against the kamikaze kid, and they're going after each other. He's calling out of anger.
Well, I think it's a bad call here. I don't see how you can not raise on the button and then call another 16, 20,000 more.
Flop is 5 of hearts, 6 of spades, ace of diamonds.
Now Mark has a straight draw, belly buster straight draw.
Check.
He goes check, check here. What is a 2-man game now?
6 of hearts.
10,000.
Han Lee bets 10,000. Mark beat him in the pot.
Sure did.
Now Mark only has 8-9. He's going to catch a 7 to make a straight here. Very strange call by Mark there. And now Mark has made 2 9s in this pot.
Makes him 2 pair.
Now Han Lee has the best hand with 2 10s.
10,000.
Han Lee bets 10 more thousand.
Good call by Mark.
And Mark beats him in the pot with the 10,000. He's not going to like this result.
Those 2 10s.
Han Lee made a great value bet there. I like that bet with the 2 10s. I like both those bets Han Lee made. He picked up another 20,000 off of Mark. Now Mark got a little bit stubborn in that hand. This shows me that he's getting frustrated by Han Lee coming over the top of him. He's going to try to outdraw him a time or 2 now. He wants so bad to try to beat him now, Vince. He's taking a little more desperate hands now, trying to outdraw his opponent.
Well, Mark's safe, you know. I think he wishes he could be hiding right now. But on the World Poker Tour, there is no hiding.
Okay, Han Lee is going to be the first to act here.
Well, Han Lee's on a good groove here. He's catching some hands, making the right moves. He doesn't have too much here, just King 9. But he's feeling lucky, and he's coming in.
He just calls the big blind. He didn't raise it. He just called. Chris folds on the button. And Chris is going down a little bit with about 270,000. Han Lee's about to catch him.
Well, I'd take a flop for 2 times, but I'm scared.
Stan's throwing it away.
In between you 2.
Check. Mark checks. Again, it's Mark and Han Lee heads up. Flop comes 5, 9, king, 2 spades.
Look at this flop for Han Lee. 2 pair. This is a monster flop for Han Lee.
And it goes check, check.
He checks. He's trying to trap.
Mark checks.
10,000.
10,000.
Mark has the bottom pair now. He has 2 3s. He's checked. Han Lee's bet 10,000.
It's just the milk play. He's just milking him a little bit. He just wants that 10.
Well, he milked him the other hand for 2 $10,000 bets and a $20,000 raise that Mark shouldn't have called to start with. Here he's got him for 10,000 more. And the 7 of spade comes out there. Now that's a straight possibility, flush possibility. Mark checks. Now Han Lee's got the top 2 pair.
15,000.
Look, 15,000. He bloats it out there.
Yes.
Now this is a bet of confidence.
Very theatrical.
But I mean, Mark's supposed to be able to pick up on this, that he's got to have a hand here. You know, that was a confidence bet. It wasn't a scared bet at all. Mark now, who's called his money off to Han Lee several pots in a row. And as you know, the worst thing you can do in no-limit poker or any poker game is call your money off.
He's calling. He's calling. I think it was that voice that made him call. Bad call.
And he's got up again. He is getting so desperate now to try to beat Han Lee a pot that he's calling with the bottom pair. That's 2 consecutive hands. He's called him all the way down.
He's
Both times a
embarrassed.
mistake.
He's been slapped around by Han Lee.
Yep. Han Lee's playing him like a fiddle now here. And poor Mark wants so bad to try to beat him a pot now that he's getting a little bit desperate. He's playing bad hands. He's calling his money off. He just didn't want to be outplayed. Just in case he would have won that pot with 2 threes, he would have got his voice back, but it didn't happen. And as it is, he's speechless.
Okay, we are now down to 4 players at the World Poker Tour, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. We're down to the final 4 at the Bicycle Casino's Legends of Poker tournament. So far, Chris Karagulian has been playing it cool behind a huge stack of chips, while Mark Safe and Han Lee slug it out hand for hand in the final day of their week-long grudge match. Stan Goldstein is still in the game, but he'll have to make a move soon if he wants to stay alive. Let's get back to the action.
Han Lee just controlling this game right now.
He really is. He's getting more confidence as every hand goes by.
Yep.
They all look like they're starting to get afraid to play with him. Chris folds quickly.
Yo, you so tight, man.
Oh, look at Han Lee.
Oh. He's giving it to Chris.
I'm gonna raise it 12,000.
He called him a tight player. He's not wrong about that. Meantime, Stan raises on the button.
Han Lee is the definite trash talker. He tries to get people upset.
Call.
Look at this, just calls.
Han Lee calls out of the big blind. Now Han Lee has a king 10 here, and Stan has an ace 3, so Stan has the best hand right now. Let's see what flops up there. Flop is king queen 9. This is a good flop for Han Lee.
Oh yeah, and he checks it, trying to trap him.
Check.
Stan didn't go for it. He checked right behind him.
8 of hearts on the turn.
20,000.
20,000. Now notice that voice when he bets that in, Benson.
Yeah.
That's a tell. I'm telling you, as a player, you're supposed to be able to pick up on that kind of stuff. You can't let that go by. Mark missed it earlier. Stan didn't miss it, and he got out of the way.
Well, Sean has been running around asking people about tells all week. Let's go to her and see what she found out.
Okay. Shauna?
This time on the WPT Poker Corner, what is a tell and what does it say about you?
Human beings are not built to lie. Your face might be stone, but flop a monster hand and the pulse in your neck will throb like Times Square on New Year's Eve. And your opponent folds. Go in with all your chips on a naked bluff and notice you haven't taken a breath in the last, 5 minutes. Don't want to trigger a call by doing anything extraordinary like breathing. And they call you.
A tell is when you see somebody do something that gives away the strength of their hand.
A tell is a psychological giveaway, the subtle betrayal of human nature. Hit your flush and your eyes instantly dive down to your chips. Swallow hard when you go over the top with cheese. It's all fair game to the good players who know that information is the key to success. Tells. If you're going to give it away for free, somebody's going to make you pay for it.
So far, Chris and Han Lee seem like they're in pretty well control of the game. And Chris is in control only by playing the one big pot against Kathy. He hasn't done anything else.
Right.
But he has so many chips, he can sit back and wait. Mark Safe will be the first to speak here.
16,000 total.
Now, Mark's really short on chips.
Total Mark bets.
Well, he's got a huge hand. He's got
Han Lee
ace-king
folds.
suited.
Chris folds.
And Han folds and Chris folds.
Which one, Mark?
Stan has an interesting hand. He has king 10 of clubs. He's got to consider this.
The 16 total?
16
I
total.
call.
He's going to call.
Stan calls him. Now Stan has king 10 of clubs. He's up against ace king of spade. So at this point, Mark has way the best hand here. Now here comes the flop. 7-8 queen with 2 spades. Mark has the best hand, the best draw.
Just a monster draw. You feel confident betting that, and he does. Look
And
at
Mark
this.
moves all in.
Mark bets 19-5, it looks like. All in, Mark?
Yep.
All in.
Give me much.
You got me covered, buddy.
I know that.
By at least.
Trying to see what I have left.
Probably 5,000 to 6,000.
Should have moved it in before the flop.
He knew all the time he was never going to call that bet, Vince, but he was just sort of playing it out. You know, it's sort of like you're arguing for the next call in baseball. He didn't want to give him any information.
Well, he's methodical. He's a methodical player, and Mark is not.
Okay, the antes and blinds have just gone up. We now have a $1,000 ante, and blinds are 3,000 and 6,000. At this stage of the tournament, we have 2 monster chip leaders and 2 very short stacks, Vince.
Hanley folds, Chris folds.
So here we go.
I'm gonna put them all in.
Stan's
Here
gonna
comes
move
Stan.
all
He's going all in. He's got about 30,000.
6 high, buddy. Take it down.
And Stan's gonna
He
win
wins the
this.
pot.
Mark folds 6 deuce.
Vince, now that the blinds and antes have gone up, the short stacks, they've got to play. They can't sit back anymore. I mean, I know Stan has just been sitting back hoping somebody else gets knocked out. Certainly he wants to double up, but he's trying to move up a position first before he really starts playing. Okay, the action is going to be on Stan Goldstein.
You know, he's been sitting there very quiet. He's been pushed around.
All in.
But now he has a real hand. He's going all in, Mike.
Here he goes.
Stan says all
He's all in with a king 10 of clubs. Mark folds.
Now Hanley only has a 9-6. You wouldn't think he'd call, and he doesn't.
He folds, and now Chris says I call. Now Chris has ace 10 of diamonds. He's in a dominating position here. It's ace 10 of diamonds versus king 10 of clubs. Mark gives a fist because he knows if Stan goes out, he moves up money.
Absolutely. Chris going to be a big favorite here. Well, let's see the flop.
The
Flop is Jack 7-4. Chris still has the lead. Stan Goldstein's going to have to catch a king or he's going to be out in 4th place.
And he does.
Look at this. It comes off.
Oh, man.
Whoa. Can you believe that?
Stan Goldstein has hit the king. It's not over yet. Now it is.
An 8 comes off. Look at Stan Goldstein outdrawing Chris Garagullion right there in that pot. And there's another blow to Mark Safe, who would have moved up in money position into 3rd place. He's been beat up playing all day, and now look at him. I'll tell you right now, Mark feels like he's on a raft in a hurricane. Hanley's on the button. Mark is going to be the first to speak.
I'm all in.
Okay, here we go. Mark Safe is going to push it with a king-jack offsuit. I tell you, he's just, you know, he's punch drunk right now.
He's a short stack. I don't blame him for moving in right there. He's still a little disgusted from that last hand. Had Stan gone out, he'd have moved up 24,000 in real money.
Now Hanley has, a little bit of a problem. He has an ace 8.
He knows Mark's a desperate man right now. He has an ace high. He thinks it's the best hand. He doesn't know what to do here. I admire his instincts here.
Well, I guarantee you, Mark's just thinking, can you please get out of my pots for once? Look, he's looking in a different direction now, Mark. You know, sometimes players are superstitious. You know, before he used to stare him down, but he was losing, so now he's going to try something different.
And Hanley folds. And notice that Chris Garagullion also had ace high. The 2 chip leaders had ace high, both a better hand than Mark. They threw their hands away. Mark Safe wins the pot. Maybe this will turn the tide for him, Vince.
Absolutely. Good play by Mark. Mark Safe didn't play it safe. He's going to be successful.
He finally got a little break there. He's had his aces cracked. He's seen the guy that was all in suck out completely where he'd have moved up a spot. Maybe this hand will turn the tide for him.
Look, he's been on tilt for a little bit, and now I think he's out of that tilt phase. We're going to see some fine play by Mark Safe. We are down to 4 players at the Legends of Poker tournament at the Bicycle Casino in Los Angeles. And we'll be right back on the World Poker Tour.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. Tonight, we're in Los Angeles, California for the Bicycle Casino's Legends of Poker. Only 4 players remain in the hunt for the $258,000 first prize. Chip leader Chris Karagoulian has been quiet since the early rounds, while short stack Stan Goldstein struggles to stay in the game. With attorney Mark Safe reeling from blows dealt by reckless Han Lee, it's a wide open race to become the next legend of poker.
I'm Mike Sexton alongside Vince Van Patten. We are ringside at the final table of the Legends of Poker at the Bicycle Casino.
Absolutely, and we could not have asked for a better tournament at this point. Let's get back to it.
Well, Vince, it appears to me that Chris's game plan is just simply not to clash with anybody, especially the chip leader. What do you think?
Well, yeah, look at him. He's all happy. He doesn't mind being bluffed because he has a whole bunch of chips. He's in the spotlight. It's an amazing strategy, and it's working up to this point.
12,000.
And here comes Mark coming in the pot for 12,000.
He makes it 12,000.
He raised it. Han Lee folds. Chris folds.
Chris folds.
And Stan folds. Mark picks up the pot.
The ace of spades. One card he shows.
So Mark was a winner that hand, and you know, it's just last week Mark won $53,000 in a no-limit hold'em game at the Bicycle Casino.
He did.
Yes, so Mark is a big fan of the Bicycle Casino, and as Shauna Hyatt lets us know, he's not the only one. Shauna.
No one loves their cars more than Southern Californians. When it comes to playing poker, in the land of the automobile, the bicycle is king.
Service starts at the door at the Bicycle Casino,
Welcome to the bike.
which prides itself on offering the best in gaming that Southern California has to offer. With over 135 tables featuring both poker and California games, the Bicycle ranks as one of the largest card casinos anywhere. But the real difference in this LA hotspot,
I think that the bike has always wanted to accommodate its players.
the employees at the Bicycle go the extra mile for their players, offering great places to eat, friendly atmosphere, and plenty of action. The Bicycle Casino doesn't stop at putting on a world-class poker tournament, sponsoring an annual golf competition, and offering up great food. One lucky player even grabs a grand prize that's uniquely Southern Californian. Because even at a place called the Bicycle, they know
In LA, it's all about the ride.
Well, Vince, I know the Legends of Poker has a special place in your heart because you actually made the final table of the championship here one year. And tell us how exciting it is to be at a final table of this championship.
Well, you know, I did. It was about 10 years ago, and I was just coming off the tennis circuit where I played professionally, and I played a poker tournament, and lo and behold, I did really well, and I made the final table. It was the most exciting thing I've ever done in my entire life. I mean, I thought this was going to be a new profession and all that. Well, to make a long story short, I was knocked out first at the final table. I put up $5,000 to initially get in the tournament. I got back $5,050. So I won $50 on my big effort. And from then on, I've never finished well in a tournament again. So I've kind of given them up.
They never saw my whole card so far.
Okay, here we go. Here comes Han Lee. Han Lee comes in for 26,000. He raises the pot 20,000. Chris folds on the button.
You know, he had an ace-8, and to him, that's a terrible